Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My daughter had snow and
It was snowing it earlier.
It was snowing here earlier. Spitting.
I had to wipe it away.
Councilman Holdridge,
Here.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Here.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes, here.
Councilman Lewandowski,
Here.
Supervisor Goodman.
Here. Okay, good evening and welcome to our 2022 budget public hearing, at which time we'll be listening to comments from the floor.
Stapled at the bottom, really.
But you're gonna find it much easier to read,
Nothing to make it so confusing.
because when you flip it down, your next page is in the right way up.
Well, I guess I could start, as usual. The question that I have is the health insurance. Now, did it go up for 22?
A percentage is a percentage, but
Okay.
keep going.
Because we are collecting the same as we did last year. And number one, your highway department needs to go down 3,000, because there's a contract you're not paying anymore. So I know the guys are paying 80%, no, 20. The town pays 80, is that correct?
That's the percentage, yes.
Yes, okay. So if we take out the $6,000 out of the highway health insurance, that leaves us with $74,250. So 80% of that is $59,400. It, like I said, you're looking for the same thing this year as you did last year. But as of the end of September, we've only used 29% of that money. And I know there was some comings and goings over there. We've only used, as of the end of September, 23,000 out of 80. Is there a chance that that $80,000 that is on the tentative budget includes the 20% the highways, the men themselves are paying? And it's the same with Jared in the general fund. I understand, $3,000 goes off that 12 for Sue, so that leaves $9,000. And actually 6,000 comes off because of Herbie and Sue. So that leaves $9,000, which is the same as last year, that the town is paying for just Jared for a single policy.
I don't wanna comment on that because it's a personnel issue and who's got insurance for what, but
And
I'm
I've
following
got
your.
insurance, but I talked to Jared and I know he's got a single plan, he told me. So is it actually $9,000 a year we're paying on the general fund for health insurance? I went back and looked at some of the paid vouchers, and I only have a couple for 21 that I looked at, and some months we don't pay nothing, some months we pay $3,500, so it's kind of hard to figure out what we're actually paying a month on health insurance. So, but that's my question, are you sure that that $80,250 is only our percent, our 80%, and not the 20 included in it? It just stands right out that we've only used 23,000 of that 80 this year. And I don't know the, do they get health insurance right away, or I don't know if there's a waiting period before they can pick up the health insurance, you guys would know that. But,
Is there a probationary period for the health insurance?
I'd have to revisit the handbook, but there's, I think it's a month. When they start, they're eligible for it the first day of the next month that comes. That's how we've typically tried to get them on, especially with all the new guys since, Jared assumed command. Worthy points to look at, we definitely need to look at that as a board, ask some questions.
And I don't remember, if you took the 25,000 out of the highway, the capital project, to balance out the 25,000 he had for the sale of his something or other. But that may be a way to put it back in, if you did take it out, I don't really remember.
You're saying if the health insurance
Yeah,
means
the
that
health
we can
insurance
reduce
is-
it, then,
right.
okay.
I understand there's a tax decrease, which we all appreciate right now.
Right.
But it may be a way to help that fund if it was taken out. I don't really remember. I don't know if you guys remember or not. So,
Okay.
but that was what really stood out to me.
Last line.
Yep.
It's only been 23,000.
It's 9060.8.
Yes. At yep. At 55.8, right, Kat, or,
9060.8.
okay, 9060.8, gotcha, okay. Okay, yeah, good, yeah, we'll definitely have to make some inquiries and have, some conversations about that.
And you, on the unallocated insurance, you should have an exact figure on that, because last year, you budgeted 32,000, but it cost us 35,000. That is line
Where are
A
you now?
1910.
You're on,
Special items,
okay,
unallocated insurance.
yeah, it's not under the,
Last year, you adopted $32,000, but we spent 35,000 and change.
I can't remember what you just said, line
you
A.
got it? Did you find it?
Kath, what line did you say that was? I'm
Where's
sorry.
it?
1910, A
So back to the
1910.4.
second, the back of the first page.
Yes, and then back under special items,
Okay.
and I know
Yeah, we didn't,
you get
remember we had to
a,
put it in,
at this time of
wasn't
year,
on the things, but now it's
you get
unallocated.
quotes from the insurance,
Right.
and they give you an exact figure. So again, I'm surprised that the figure that's there is the exact same we paid last year, cause it just seems like insurance goes up all the time.
Yeah.
Cause again, our actuals in 2020 was 31,000. Our actual in 2021 was 35, and you're going for that 35 again, when last year it went up 4,000. I would assume it's gonna go up again this year. So that should really have the correct figure on it.
Okay.
My other issue is, some of the raises. And I'm not saying that people don't deserve a raise. I know the justices haven't had a raise in ages. The deputy town clerk just got a raise 2 years ago, or 3 years maybe, from 500 to 1,500. Now we're doubling that, that's 100% raise. I don't know anybody anywhere that gets 100% raise. And I know we're looking at a small figure, but you also gotta take into account the amount of hours that she should be putting in, which is when Vicky's not able to fulfill her hours. Deputy town clerk doesn't have their own set hours each week. So 100% raise to me was a lot. I have no beef with the men getting a raise. I did talk to Jared about it. And he did tell me that not everybody over there is getting a raise, cause some of them are newer. And that wasn't, you know, it was just said the guys are getting $1 an hour. So I just assumed it was all guys, but after talking to Jared, he told me it's the, you know, the guys with the longevity that have been here. So, which totally makes sense. But that is pretty much the crux of what I found in the budget. Do we have any better figures? I know you only just started it this year, breaking down the buildings, because so much of it was just thrown in 1620.
think we've made some progress on that, and it's still a work in progress, I guess
Okay.
would be the best way to say it. We're all cognizant of it, and we're trying to put it
Do
in
you
the
know
right
when
places.
that started?
This process of breaking them down into
Yeah.
codes, boy, with Maureen, so it would have been earlier this year, you know,
Was it for
conversations
the
about.
entire year?
No.
No, okay. Cause some of these figures are low and are they really gonna add up to whatever? You know, cause you do have the total the same, the 64,000, but some of them,
It was lowered to 54,000.
okay, alright, I missed that, sorry about that.
I mean, I realize it's 5% is high.
Yes, cause that
Mainly
actual,
because of the work that has already been done at some of those.
right, and we only spent 37,000 last year,
Yeah, that's what we meant.
so,
Should they maybe work on the roof here or whatever.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Double sided.
Yes, cause we're at 63,000 right now, but it does include the gazebo and
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
Roof and all that.
Yeah, so, but, I think that was pretty much it. Did I discuss anything else in here?
That was everything.
I work there and I worn it, so I had to take it off, usually I have it on my hand.
So you plan on voting on this
This Monday.
Monday?
Right.
So, if I'm right and those figures are off, it'll be corrected by then? So you can approve it?
We'll have to see what we come up with as a board at that
Well, that's
point.
what I mean, if the figures are off, will they be corrected by Monday night, if they're off? I mean, we already know the highway health insurance is off by 3,000. We already know that,
How do we know that though?
because you're not paying Harold anymore. That was $3,000 a year,
Okay.
that's what I mean, the contract with him ended. So,
Right, we definitely wanna try to get everything as exact as possible.
right.
Yeah.
And you should have an exact figure on, for health insurance for the next year and everything,
Right.
and you're unallocated. And congrats to Jody and Pierce.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, go for it, ladies.
No, Leanna, no?
No, I was just here in case anybody had questions about the library.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Very nice, thank you.
Judge Snyder Green, you have anything? No? Okay.
And
Barbara has some questions, okay.
Okay, so what is Justice's personal services? What is that? Is that just pay for the
Pay,
judge?
pay. PS is all pay. Personal services is
Okay.
pay.
Okay, so this year it says the actual budget was 14,000, it looks like. But for 2020, it was 14,000. This year it was 14,000, and as of now, just before, it's November, it's only been 10,005. And you wanna go up to 16, that's 14% raise.
10-5 is through September 30th,
Okay,
That-
but now it's already November,
right?
so how close is it to the 14,000?
It'll be spot on. The judges are salaried and the judge's clerk is salaried.
Okay, so
Yes.
when I'm looking at like people that are on social security only get like a 3% raise, why is 14 and 16 and 0.7 appropriate?
Justice is the second one.
It seems like a lot of raise.
Okay, I think expressed as a percentage, it seems like a lot of a percentage of the
Well,
total.
They're going from 14 to 16, right?
And that would be, that's two judges, that's two judges, so
Okay,
each
but I
judge,
don't know how it's broken down.
right,
I
each
see that.
judge is paid the same. It's a
8,000.
salaried figure, they were at 7, now they're going to 8,000 a year, and the clerk was at 6 going to 7,000 a year.
Okay, so I don't know how it's.
That's
Yeah,
all you.
that's okay.
Because it isn't written down.
That's
Right.
you,
Okay, and then the attorney's going from 2020 was only 6,230 and he's going up to 12. That's a huge jump.
He was at
He was at
10.
10.
Yeah, he was at 10,000.
It says for 2020, it was 6230. That was the first column, right?
That was a different
That
pay
was-
scale back then.
Yeah.
So we were paid by the hour, not by the salary, and we did not have a lawyer here every week.
Why isn't any of this stuff written down? You don't know, there's no way to know by
It's
looking at it.
just history from meetings and, I mean, the budget document itself doesn't have a huge narrative with it,
Okay,
ever. It's
Okay.
these things that make it, come to light. The
okay,
$6,230, the town was still contracted with Gerben and Ferlazzo, so they billed as to what they did. So if we needed them, they weren't here for every meeting, they didn't provide as full of a service as filled it. They were available for that, however, it would have been billed hours. So if we had attorneys in the room, which we did at a few meetings, they'd be paid per, the time they actually spent, yes, per hour.
okay.
But Phil is on a salary scale. And he's here for every meeting,
Yeah.
every
He
workshop
actually does a good job.
available.
Yeah,
I think Phil's
I give
been,
him credit for that, he does a good job.
I think the way he handles the position has
It's
been
been very
an asset to the town.
Very.
So that's been super helpful. So does that explain?
That's good, and then
Okay.
town clerk, 14% raise, 14.8. I mean, I realize she keeps getting more jobs shoved at her and jobs taken away from your secretary, but the jobs aren't getting done, not well. And it just seems like it's that's a big raise also. Unless there's more than one town clerk.
Okay, noted,
Right.
okay, thank you.
And then I'm seeing something that doesn't, there's a couple things that didn't make sense. One was for your secretary, and it's saying that she's got a 3% raise, but she's actually taking a pay cut, so there is no raise there.
Supervisor secretary, personal services, okay, she, 8320 was budgeted for that position in 2021. And 8580 in this is what the preliminary budget was set at, so is that 3.1%?
3.1, yes.
Yeah, 3.1%. So where are you questioning?
I'm coming from actuals to 2020, it says 10,812.
Yes,
Okay, and now it's saying preliminary budget 8580, which is not a raise.
but you're going, the adopted budget of this year is 8320, going to 8580, there's the
The
raise.
hours too.
Yeah, she's working less hours.
She's got less hours
Okay,
now.
well, she's had hours taken away from her, yes, I'm aware of that.
The 10,812 were actuals for 2020, but the reduction actually happened effective this year for 2021.
Okay.
She's not having more hours reduced this year though.
No, the same hours, but a 50-cent raise per hour.
Okay. And then the weird thing here with the ambulance, it says no tri-town and tri-town, I didn't understand the numbers.
That scenario was left in, please don't forget, our budget for the last 7 years was a product of the work of Maureen Seal. Wendy actually inherited, I'm going to say, this budget template, this work. So some of these things are semantics and need to be cleaned up.
Okay.
But the Tri-Town ambulance, we voted by resolution not to participate in that anymore. So the line items stayed in there, again, semantics, but I think you'll find it zeroed out.
Okay.
So that's,
Yeah, I couldn't understand it, that's why I asked.
right, yep, no worries.
Okay, and then the youth program getting, I don't understand, what is the contractual expense for the youth program?
Items that are purchased to run the events, the monthly events that are run. Whatever gear Noel might need to run the program. Pumpkins, gingerbread houses, summer items for the summer program. Contractual is basically items you need to do your job in every line item. That's a typical budget line item.
And I wasn't sure about the library stuff, but that would be Leanna's thing. So it's going from 42.5 to 45? Am I following that right?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Alright,
That's it?
I think so. Oh, you had a 42.9% down on, building and alteration permits, which seems like it's kind of.
For revenue, Ann?
It says general fund estimated revenue, yeah, it is revenue. Just seems like a weird amount.
Give me a line item, Ann.
Right, A 2555.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your question then?
What's,
That would be an increase in revenue, based on construction in town. Tom probably, I'm assuming, I'm not assuming, I'm going to state that Tom assessed the present condition of activity of building in Grafton, people moving to town, people doing changes to existing things. So he's anticipating an increase in revenue that we will
so
see from that.
predictions, not necessarily.
Right, yep, predictions based on, educated guess based on experience with what he's seeing, I would say.
Yeah, this is it, this is one I got today.
Okay, anyone else from,
I'd like to speak to the resident. I think, and this is just my opinion, that you may have been able to be a little more generous with the library. I think for the services that the library offers, I'm not saying that you had to go up to 50,000, but I think you could probably went a little bit higher. Just my opinion.
Leanna,
Yeah, that's.
if you could do one night with some night hours, it would be great, because some people can't get there during the day, and you've only got day hours.
We're open till 6.
Yeah, but people don't get out of work till 5 or 6, and then you can't get there, you know?
We actually used to be open till 7, we did a whole tracking for a year, and 6 to 7 was dead, and we actually tried to 8 one year, and it was even worse. Especially the winter going to 8 o'clock was,
Yeah, because nobody really wants to be out.
yeah, and we were open till 7, we did a whole tracking to see, and there was just no shows between 7 and 8, I can show you the.
No, I believe you,
Yeah.
it just seems like, you know, most libraries where I've been, they have some night hours, you know.
We open on
A
Saturday.
lot more people,
We're open Saturday.
a lot more
10
people in their town too.
Saturday, 10 to 1, yeah. Okay. And I did, because Ingrid brought that up about Sundays, there's only one Rensselaer County library that's open on Sunday, and that's, I don't know if it's East Greenbush or North Bush, it's the one over by the Y. Is that
Okay.
North Greenbush?
No,
East,
North
East,
East,
They're
yeah,
the
no,
only one that's
yeah.
open on
That's a big
Sundays.
library.
Library to be open.
Some of the older
That's
ones
a
are.
huge library too.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's funny, Bethlehem's hiring an assistant director, and, they have 35 employees, full-time, 35 employees, full-time,
wow.
Bethlehem.
Wow.
Leanna, did the request of 50,000, refresh me, did it include any additional staffing or additional hours?
No.
No, okay,
That
so it was
was
status
based on,
quo.
we did that based on $15 an hour, because when we put that in the 1st of September, we thought the state requirement was gonna be $15. We're able to do it on the 45,000 because it's actually gonna be $13.50.
Right, 1350, okay. Okay.
Speaking on that, it's kind of sad because we have the, person that's been working at the library for 14 years, and she makes minimum wage. Well,
it was
a little bit more,
but
not much more, which is sad, because here we are, we want $15, we want $18, we want $25 an hour. We got somebody that's been working for for 14 years and making minimum wage.
With no benefits or no vacation. So with this 45, we're hoping that we're gonna at least be able to give her
There you go.
2 weeks vacation. So, and her husband is eligible for retirement, so I hope she just stays.
It'll be hard to replace her for minimum wage.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've been trying to look for somebody 10 hours a week that can do programming and social media. And, you know, I've actually have contacted the state park to see if there's a person there that is part-time that would wanna work 10 hours. And then there's a new director getting hired at Pleasantville. So I sent an email today to find out about that, and she'd be willing to do 10 hours with us. You know, cover stuff that, especially that social media stuff.
We had an issue a couple of years ago with elected officials who get paid bi-weekly. I don't know how you guys take your pay, if you take it once a month or bi-weekly or what. But I know the highway takes it bi-weekly. But the amount is figured on, the amount they get per week is figured on the 52 weeks, but sometimes there's more pay periods in the year. So we had an elected official who actually got paid more than he was budgeted for. And I was paid bi-weekly, and our company used to play around with the figures in December and sometimes pay like 1 week and then another week, so you didn't go for a long stretch of time without money. So I think just if somebody would look into that with Wendy, I don't know, being that she's new to the way Maureen set it up, cause it was under Maureen that that person got paid extra.
Are
It's
you
just,
sure they got paid extra, Kath? Were journal entries made to accommodate
was
that with
right.
the extra?
it was right on the thing, right on the supervisor report, when I brought it to the attention of the board, and that Maureen apologized for it, said it was her fault.
Okay.
So it was done,
How long ago was this, just ballpark?
under Hayden's.
So
much I can
5
tell
years
you.
ago anyway, okay, gotcha. Or
And
no,
I know it doesn't happen every year, it happens,
7 years ago. Okay.
yeah, so it could possibly be up this year, but it's just worth mentioning to her. You know, without looking at your pay periods, I don't know how it would fall,
Alright,
but it's just something to look at.
okay,
Thank you.
yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you. Yeah, hopefully, have your meetings typically been picking up public comment when you're taping them? Okay, good deal. Okay, yeah, we can review this then. Make sure we have all the points. Anyone else tonight? No? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing for the 2022 budget. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Good
board.
points, good points.
Thank you, board.
Yes,
I'm-
very true.
They're still taking, I'm a Taurus and I don't like change, so I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. Yeah, I don't change. Oh.
How many guys are over in